Okay.
All right, here we go. All right, welcome back to the IY podcast. Today I got a new guest on today, man. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Marquis Diamond. I'm a nightlife concierge promoter in Hollywood. I also have a nonprofit I run called the Diamond Project, where you leave your legacy to help empower and rebuild the communities in the inner city of Los Angeles.
Oh yeah, how'd you get into promoting? We'll go into that one first.
Well, promoting actually it's a crazy story, but when I went to college, I joined the fraternity. So we used to do all of the fraternity parties in Northern California. I went to UC Davis, so I used to do a lot of parties in Northern California, um, and step shows and things of that nature. And when I came back home after school, I was working a corporate job, wasn't really feeling it like that. End up getting into some trouble with the legal system. Um, so my degree became basically null and void. So I was like, all right, well,
Damn.
I still gotta get some money. So I was like, man, let me just try to go into this club thing full time. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
end up jumping into the club thing full time with like 2010, and by like 2011, like it just took off for me. I end up a lot of people that I knew from high school and from college start like always wanting to go out because everybody was like in their 20s around that time. So it kind of like really helped me,
Yeah.
and that's where from then on I ain't looked back.
What do you usually do? Like what's your process, when you're trying to promote something or someone new or something like that?
Well, my process is really I'm a branding type person. I believe in branding a night first, making that night seem special, making that night seem different than any other night that they have. Like, so if I do a Saturday night or something, I want my Saturday night to be different from any other Saturday night.
Yeah, yeah.
So I will make sure like we try to get the best looking waitresses, make sure we do a whole 2 or 3 weeks of marketing and promo to get the word out there, and then try to like make that first night like really kind of exclusive.
Yeah.
So all the promoters that work kind of under me, to try to have them like bring their best quality girls, that way, and we all reach out to our all of us that work, we all reach out to our table clients and make so the first night is like the standard. And if the first night takes off like it does, we have to do it like we do that about 2 more times. People end up catching on by then. Once you do it 2 or 3 times and they be like, oh, this is the hottest night, then people start to come.
Yeah. So you work at a certain club, or where do you promote at, or where do you do that?
Well, it depends. Right now, well, everything's closed right now because of the pandemic, but
Yeah.
it depends. So I get contracts for certain venues. Um, let's say I have a Saturday night and there's a club open in Hollywood that doesn't have a Saturday night. So I will pick up a contract with that owner. And with that owner, the owner will allow me to like run the Saturday night. So when I set up a Saturday night with a certain club, I would hire a team of promoters. So I get like, I always like diverse nights. So I mix it up. So I get a Latin promoter team. They might have like 10, 15 promoters that work with them. Then I get like a white Asian promoter team, and then like I kind of handle the black side. So with my team, and whatever the other fillers of other promoters there is, so that way everybody's bringing in their people,
Yeah.
and everybody just like hip hop, so that's the easy part. But we want to make it like where it's mixed, because when you get a mixture crowd, you get a better vibe, it's better energy,
Oh yeah.
and just a whole all around a better look.
Hell yeah. That's pretty
So
dope. So I mean, it reaches out to more people, to more people, if it's a certain group, like you said, like a certain race, it might just, kind of stay that. But if, like you said, you make it really diverse, like you're doing, everybody's gonna fuck with it.
yeah, because in Hollywood you have to do that, because if you're trying to get the celebrities to come and the artists, the athletes, and all that, they don't want to come to something that they feel is like hood or not the norm of what LA is like, what the culture is here. So like we live in a real diverse city. Like in LA is like every ethnicity, nationality you can think of, and it's more every day. You come across something that's new, so you kind of have to try to embody everybody, so everybody feels comfortable in your space, in the party space, if you want to succeed.
Oh yeah, that for sure. Oh, are you able to turn that radio down a little bit? I can hear it in the back.
Oh, that wasn't me. That was somebody in the
Oh shit.
on the street.
Oh Jesus, they bumping then.
That's why I had the windows up, but I was like, okay.
Oh yeah, but no, that is a really good idea though. You know, is it kind of hard, you know, getting artists? You know, how do you reach out to them?
Well, not necessarily, because when you've been in it for a little while, you've been in the game for a little while, they kind of coming to LA, they have to come here. So you kind of have access to them. They're managers, they're booking agents or whatever. When you kind of are established, they're going to kind of reach out to you.
Oh, okay.
We only have to reach out to an artist like when we want a certain or particular artist that we want, we reach out to them. Like say for instance, I want to do a night where I wanted like Future or somebody, and dang, why is all these, my bad, hold on one second.
Oh, it's all good.
I don't know why all these Instagram things are coming in right now. Hold on, sorry.
No, it's all good.
Yeah, so when you are, I'm trying to get this glare out. I'm gonna just pull over something because it's the glare. I don't know if you're recording it or you just
oh yeah, it's recording.
Doing video or okay. Yeah, I'll pull over so I can get this glare out the way.
Okay.
But yeah, so they reach out to us a lot of times, unless you like going after a particular artist that's hot at the moment, and you know they're going to be in Los Angeles. That's the best part about kind of like living in LA, is that all of these artists, they have to come here.
Yeah.
So since they have to come here, we kind of don't have to really like look for them. They already like around. So it always like kind of works out for us.
Yeah. What is you know, one of the big artists you promoted or whatever, you know, like, you know, to get them there, you know, what are some of the big ones you can name?
Man, I done had a lot. I done had Cardi B, I didn't have Future, we didn't have Drake, we didn't have Jeezy. I done had probably every artist that's been in the industry. Damn. Except the newer ones that's around right now because we've been closed. But yeah, every single artist I've probably done multiple times. Like the crazy part, for the West Coast, I was the first one to book Cardi B, and I booked Cardi B on when she was in her dancer phase first. Mm-hmm. Then I booked her when she was in her acting phase, when she was on Love and Hip Hop, and then she gave us her first booking when she became big. We got our first booking in LA. She's like, I got to do Marquis Diamond. I got to do Secret Sundays first, because that's the only people that was booking me before any of this stuff took off. So like, she was one of my favorite artists that I've been a part of, because we actually had a process in breaking her career. So
yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. You know, what was your, you know, one of your favorite people you've worked with, you know, or promoted, you know, and that's one of your favorite ones?
That's one of my favorite ones, just because she's one of the ones that actually didn't really know us, but she like stayed true to herself and true to the people that like supported her at the time. But a lot of artists do. Like, the crazy part, when I first started promoting, I was doing clubs, and then Los Angeles really doesn't have like a big time strip club scene, like how like Atlanta did with the music, like how they got Magic City and how Miami has King of Diamonds. We didn't have that. So we didn't have access to a lot of the up and coming artists, because in Hollywood, they wouldn't allow us to book at the time like a Nipsey Hussle or a YG or anything like that when they was up and coming.
Yeah.
You only could book artists when they already at the top.
Yeah.
So it was hard, because you interact with a lot of these people on a day-to-day basis or throughout seeing them or whatever, and you can't even put them in the venues you're working with. So we started a strip club / club. It was like a hybrid thing to kind of like mimic Magic City, mimic King of Diamonds, so we can put up and coming artists on a stage.
Yeah.
So when Nipsey Hussle, when YG, when Joe Moses, when OT Genesis, when they wasn't who they are now, they was up and coming. They was on our stage.
Hell yeah.
All the time.
That's fucking dope.
Oh, Ty Dolla $ign. So a lot of artists we helped break in that realm. But the thing that was different, like I said, with Cardi, was that when these artists got big, they wasn't really
coming back
fucking with us like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if we could curse on your podcast.
Oh yeah, whatever.
Okay. Yeah, they wasn't really coming back messing with us like that. But like Cardi was she was solid because she was like, when she got her big break, all these people was trying to throw her all this money. Like, I'm gonna book you, and she like, nah, I gotta do Secret Sundays first because they was the only ones booking me.
Yeah.
And they was the only ones messing with me before I was who I was. And the first time when she came, we found her just on Instagram and everybody was talking about her. And we was like, oh, let's fly her out here. She got a good following. So we kind of took a risk and it worked out.
Yeah, no shit. Because she came back and stayed down and fucked with you.
Stayed down. She even said it in like one of the videos or whatever. She always like was cool. So that's why I have her as my favorite, because I felt like she helped us and we helped her. It went both ways instead of like us just helping somebody else get on and then it like they move on.
Yeah, I see what you mean. That is pretty cool. I mean, I didn't know like you worked with all of them. I didn't know you had like, I know I seen some stuff with Nipsey, a lot on your Instagram and stuff like that. I figured maybe you promoted him and stuff. What was your relationship with him?
If you go through my whole Instagram, if you go, it's a lot. If you swipe all the way back, every week you're gonna see an artist. You got to think, if I've been doing this 10 years.
Yeah.
So 10 years, we book an artist. Let's say I book an artist 3 times or 4 times a month, and I gotta get every artist, every BET, every Grammy Award weekend, every BET Award weekend. I'm gonna have whatever the hottest artists are.
Hell yeah. Damn.
So out of 10 years, that's a long time.
All kinds of people then. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, God damn, you get pretty good relationships, with some of them. You get to talk to them and interact with them.
Well, I interact with them, but I don't have the relationship with them like that because I'm not really big in the music industry where because they be wanting, like, when you deal with artists and you want to be around that sector, you got to be a person that likes to go into the studio and all that. And I'm not big on the music making process. I like the finished product. Show me the finished product and I'll tell you if I like it, if we can play it or not. I'm cool. But the music making process is not me. So since the music making process is not something that I'm really into, I really don't build the relationships with the artist, because that's where a lot of people build their relationships at, is like being in the studio with them.
Yep. So, when they're in the process.
Yeah. So mine is just like always kind of business. And then like I do the contracts, make sure we book them. And then I meet and greet when they get there, make sure their situation is set up. And then I kind of let them do their own thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's pretty dope though. I mean, shit. I mean, that's pretty cool, man. What you got going on there, man. That's for damn sure. Or go ahead. Were you about to say something?
No, I say I try. I'll just say I try.
What degree did you end up getting, back when you said you went to school?
Okay, I got a degree in political science, a bachelor's degree in political science, and another bachelor. I got 2 bachelors in one in political science and one in African American studies.
Damn.
So
I got putting in work.
I was planning to go to law school. That was the plan.
Yeah.
At one time, but the world makes decisions for you, and you just gotta ride the waves.
Yeah.
So, and I have no regrets. Like I love my career path. Like
that's what I was just about to ask you. I was gonna say, probably what you were meant to do, right? You know?
Yeah. The crazy part, you just said that my grandma, because my grandmother raised me, my grandfather raised me. My grandma just said that to me probably like about 5 months ago. She was like, I think you was like born to be in the club business. I was like, why you say that? She like, because remember, she said you used to do parties in middle school, and then you and your friends used to have these parties you used to put, and they'd be in the backyard or whatever. And I was like, I never looked at it like that. And then I thought about it like, dang, I was the one, because I was in charge of like the parties for high school too, like the lunchtime dances, the prom. Like I'm the one who worked with that, but I never looked at it as the person doing the party, because you work in like leadership.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah.
or government.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, look at it worked out.
Yeah, that's
That's what,
true.
but I mean, you know, all that shit you learned from college, I mean, it's still gonna stick with you forever, you know? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So you said that it kind of became after you got that degree and like some shit happened. What did you say? It got voided or what was that?
No, I just said it was null and void, because going into corporate America, trying to get a job, like I was working in education. So
Yeah.
like as an admissions advisor for colleges, they're not finna hire you with a record. Like if you have a
No.
felony or a misdemeanor or whatever, they're not gonna hire you, regardless of how good your work was or anything. They kind of just go solely off the application.
Yeah.
So I wasn't even trying to like put myself through that process, trying to find a job, and then having to take like jobs for lower salaries or lower wages just because I had a record. So I just like, man, I'm basically bet on myself. So I just bet on myself and just went into the promotion full fledged. Like it was a lot of hurdles at the beginning. I'm not gonna lie. Like it was a lot of learning curves, because
What
there's
are
a
some of
lot of
the what are some of the struggles that you know went through?
well, some of the struggles was that not knowing the game
Mm-hmm.
of Hollywood promotion, because you got to think in colleges, we do college parties, 18 and over parties, and you have like I'm in a fraternity, so I'm a Kappa. So when you do a party, your fraternity is the actual brand and the promoter.
Mm-hmm.
So all you doing is putting it together, and all the girls and all the guys are gonna come out because they're like, oh yeah, the Kappas at Davis, they do the best parties, so people just come out. It's not like an individual promotion type thing where like I'm bringing people because of Marquis.
Yeah.
They're really coming because of the organization and the party who's doing the party. When you jump into Hollywood, the people come because of you. Like, so when you think, oh man, I did a party, I brought 1,000 people, and you be like, okay, I'm gonna try to bring at least 200 people, and you get 20, 30 people show up, you be kind of feeling like, oh man, what's going on?
Yeah.
But in actuality, that's how it works. Like, that's why there's like teams of promoters. So that's why like for promotion, you will see a night might have 40 promoters on a night. There might be like 4 or 5 partners that
Mm-hmm.
run it,
Yeah.
but there's probably like 35 promoters on the night.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you get each promoter bring 10 people, that's 350 people. So, or 400 people with the partners, that's 400 people, and that's how they fill up the clubs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I didn't know that portion of it jumping into Hollywood.
Yeah.
So when I would go, I was like, man, this ain't even worth it, man. I'm only going home with like $100,
Yeah.
$50, like at a time. Then
How do they pay you based off how many people you bring, or?
it goes off of how many people you bring. So there's a tally. And that's the issue in itself too, when you are up and coming promoter. So there's a tally. And for your tally, for your guys, you get paid a certain amount. And for your girls, you get paid a certain amount. So the guys, you're going to get paid a little bit more, because the guys are normally paying.
Mm-hmm.
And your girls, you're going to get paid less, because if they're like really, really cute, they're going to be free.
Yeah.
So they know they can't pay you for letting people in for free.
Mm-hmm.
So, but majority of the time you want to bring more girls. That's just the name of the game, is to bring more girls. So you get paid on that. The other pay, the other thing that kind of saved me, but I had to learn the hard way too, was that knowing the people that I knew and being like the age that I was when I came and started to promote, and I had a more of a rapport with the people that had money, like the D-boys and some of the athletes and some of my frat brothers that was like lawyers or doctors that had money so they can buy tables.
Yeah, yeah.
And when they buying a tables in Hollywood start off like $1,000, $1,500.
Yeah.
So you get a percentage of that table. But at the beginning, I didn't know that. I would book these tables, and at the end of the night, they'd give me like $50 for my table, and then they'd probably give me like $100 for my guest list.
Mm-hmm.
So I go home with $150. So at the time, I'm happy with that. Like, I made $150. I really didn't do nothing. Boom, boom, boom. But over time, you start to learn, and you be like, wait up, my table spent $3,000, and y'all only gave me $50. Like, I'm supposed to have like $300 to $600.
Yeah. So that you
But
just kind of figure were they fucking you, or what happened?
yeah, but that's what they do to the promoters that's young. That's how they get up, because the game, like the way the promotion world works is that, and it's hard, it's not all the way on the higher promoters. It's really on the guests. So if you come to my club, right, I invite you to the club, and I be like, I could get you in this and this and this and that, and I get you in. But when you come, I have you waiting. It takes a little bit longer. Like, you see that I don't have as much pull as this guy that's next to me. Eventually, you're going to probably transition over time to somebody that has more power authority. So they can be like, oh, you here? All right, boom. Come on, walk in.
Yeah.
So when you're new, you don't have that power yet. Like, you have to report to somebody else to get people in and all that other stuff. So I took it as a learning curve. I learned from it. It was a blessing, because the thing that saved me, and I didn't know about Hollywood, was that I had these table buyers that I didn't know it was a big deal. And the club's owners start to notice that. So one of the promoters from a whole nother night that I've never worked with called me to a meeting and was like, hey, we're about to start a night here. We already have a night here, but we're about to take it over and run it ourselves. And we want you to come on as a partner. And I was like, what is that? Like, what's a partner?
Yeah.
It was like, well, a partner is like, you have people work under you. Like, it's 5 of us, and we have everybody under us, and we pay them. And then we run the night, we control the night, we do all this. And I was like, okay, so what do I need to do? Like, I was real confused. So the good part about it was like some dudes that was real like mentors. So they really taught me everything about promotion. Like, they didn't try to get over on me. They kept it transparent with the money. Like, okay, this is what the door did today. This is what the bar did.
Damn.
These are our expenses. We have to pay this model. We got to pay this DJ. We got to pay this. All right, the promoters, here's our promoter pay. Boom, 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 boom. And here's this promoter brought this table, so we got to pay them. Now here's what's left. And your percentage as a partner is this. So we're going to split it up by percentage. So you're a 20% partner. This person's a 10% partner. This person's a 25% partner. So 20% of this is what you get. I was like, oh, okay, that's how it works. So I learned.
Yeah.
It took me about a year to get it. And then after that, like, it took off. Like, once I got my first partnership, it took off. And then when we created, my team that I work with created the Secret Sundays brand.
Yeah.
And that was something new to Hollywood. Like, it was new to Hollywood, and it was my own thing, basically. So when that took off, that was a whole nother beast.
That's what I was going to ask you, because I did see in your Instagram bio that you had, Secret Sundays. What is that place, or what is it, to you, or, what is it?
So
basically?
Secret Sundays was a strip club that we brought to LA. So the idea of it was, like I said earlier, was to break new artists. But because in the South, like I said, Magic City and King of Diamonds, like if you hear Jeezy and Future and all them talk about, they always talk about Magic City. Rick Ross always talk about King of Diamonds because that's where they was going before they was who we knew who they are.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That's how they got their music played. That's how they got their spins for people to know who they were. So we're like, man, we need something like that for our artists. So we created it, but I knew out here, we don't have a real big time strip club culture.
Yeah.
Like people here like don't care. So I like, man, we got to figure out a way to make it a club and a strip club. Like it got to be mixed. Like it can't feel like pervertish. Like you can't feel like, oh, I'm going to the club just to see dancer. We want girls to want to come there too.
Yeah.
Like, so we got to create a whole ambiance. So we kind of like made it a club first and a strip club second. So the girls had a stage. So it was a long runway stage where you really couldn't touch them. They don't do no lap dances. They don't get on you. They don't get naked. But we just had them do all type of tricks, make sure they was like entertainment.
Yeah.
And people that knew about strip clubs, they would come and they would throw money. And then if you didn't want to throw money, you were still good. So the girls would come. And every week we have like multiple artists. Like I said, all them up and coming artists that we was mentioning earlier, they will be in there like regular because they're not big yet.
Yeah, yeah.
So they'll be in there chilling or whatever. And they be like, man, Marquis, can we perform? Like, oh yeah, go perform. So you have them perform. Then what happens with them, since they're always in the studios with people, they'll start bringing other celebrities in. So they'll bring like the Jeezys at the time. They'll bring the Yo Gottis and all of that, the Games and all. They'll come in because these other artists that they're working with, they know that they're up and coming. We just don't know yet.
Yeah, they know who's about to break.
So they start coming there. And then what happened, like we had a BET Weekend award, BET Weekend for the award show. All the people from the South came and they love strip clubs. Yeah. So when they came and they figured out we had something like they had, it took off. And then that's when all the rappers start putting in their songs, like what's Sway Lee and what's the name of their group?
Ray Schmurder, right?
Ray Schrimmer, Ray Schrimmer. They had in their group. They songs. French Montana had in his songs. Jeezy had in his songs. Like it's a lot of artists that start putting the Secret Sundays in their songs, and we was like, oh, so we kind of knew we had something going. So that was like my first thing that I brought to LA that was different from anything. Well, and I'm not gonna say I brought it. It was a team of us that brought it to LA. But we was the first ones doing that dynamic, and it really took on. That's where I got a lot of my relationships with the artists. When you was like, how do we book them? Yeah, that's where I got a lot of them from, because they would come there and they'd be like, Marquis, I want to go out on Tuesday night, or I want to go out on Thursday night, because we was only open on Sunday. Yeah, we was only open one day a week, and we chose. It's crazy. We chose and we named it Secret Sundays because we didn't want nobody to know what it really was. Like, and you had to have a password at the beginning to get in.
How come?
So like, yeah, you had to like, so, huh?
Or how come how come you wanted it to be secret?
Because what we were doing, strip clubs, was really like a gray area. Oh, it's low key. You got to have a certain type of license to run a strip club. Yeah, yeah. So we was in the gray, because that's why we didn't do lap dances and all that other stuff. But we was still, and we chose the date. The day we did on Sunday was because Vice don't work on Sundays. What's that?
What is what'd you say it was?
That's the LAP. That's the LAPD club division. They're the ones who patrol all the clubs to make sure like stuff is in the right. So they don't work on Sundays. So.
Did they ever catch on?
They did. They caught on, but they was not tripping, because like when they found out actually what we was doing, they came in a couple of times. The funny part, we actually did a party for a LAPD graduate academy. Like all these officers that graduate from the academy, they came to Secret Sundays. They had a party. We had about 20 or 30 officers that bought a table in there, that they was in there partying and chilling. So they came on. We just made sure we stuck with the guidelines that kept us out of trouble. Like all they care about is that the girl's not selling pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah. They that we not like doing no prostitution stuff, and that there's no like drug transactions and stuff, and no underage stuff. That's all they really care about. Long as you stick to those guidelines and stay away from the lap dancing part, they'll kind of leave you alone.
Yeah, that's cool. Then is it still up and running?
No, we actually closed down, I want to say 3 years ago, on our own accord, because we was with this new club, and the owners of the club was just not, what's the word I'm looking for? They wasn't being good partners, basically. The owners was like more leeching off of us. So the owners was like, normally when you team up with a club, you want to team up with somebody that has your vision too. Because you have these they have the money most of the time, but you have these concepts in your mind that for the night to be successful, you have to make it come to fruition.
Yeah.
But you have to have the venue support it. So the venue, we ask for certain things, and the venue will back us like halfway. Like sometimes we'll be like, oh, we want to book this artist. Like, matter of fact, I'm gonna give that example, what we just said with Cardi B. So we can go back to Cardi B on this. We had Cardi B when she dropped Bodak Yellow. So this when she hot.
Yeah.
Cardi B wanted $30,000 to host. So we told the venue, Cardi wants this amount of money to host, whatever. Y'all pay half and we pay half.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there. They was like, nah, we not gonna pay that much for her. No, but we don't even, she not really that big like that. Woo whoop. I like, Cardi B is big. She just not big like that yet. What you thinking like how she is now, but she's big because a lot of artists are big before mainstream gets there. Like we're like, a lot of people gonna come out for her. I'm telling you, they was not trying to listen to nothing we said, right?
Yeah.
So we was like, fuck it, we'll put up our money ourselves. Like we got the money. We just want to make sure y'all, since y'all are supposed to be our partners, y'all supposed to go half with us. We don't want y'all reaping all the benefits because y'all control the money at the end of the day. So if we put up all our money, we still gotta wait for y'all to give us all our bread back. So the first 2 days, we dropped the flyer, we almost sold out of tables.
Jesus, that quick.
That quick. And then they was like, oh, y'all still need some money for the thing. Like they tried to jump on the bandwagon and start like talking about, oh, we need a table for our promoters and our special group that we have here, and we need to y'all need to send us some flyers so we could promote it. And I was like, why y'all want to promote it now? Because now y'all want to seem like y'all's the one, you guys are the one that's doing it.
Yeah, that's why.
And after that, we start always having like little issues over like the smallest things, like, and it was like, man, y'all not supporting us. So our thing was like, okay, man, we just gonna shut down. So the crazy part, we stopped doing Secret Sundays at this club, right?
Yeah.
4 months later, the club closes.
Oh,
they didn't have no money coming in.
Damn. So it shows how much fucking work you guys were putting in.
Yeah,
that's
like
for damn sure.
I'm like, we wasn't doing no major numbers like $100,000 bars, but if you got a consistent $30,000 bar every Sunday for 4 Sundays in a row, that's $120,000.
Jesus, yeah, no shit. I mean,
just for one day. So you still gotta look at, you got a Friday and you got a Saturday night.
Yeah.
So, but y'all lost. They would rather have an ego and pride on how the night works and not try to work with us, and instead of just working with us, and they probably still been open.
Yeah.
But so our whole thing was like shut down, regroup first, and now it's kind of saturated too. Like there's like, you got Ace of Diamonds, you got Dollhouse, you got 305 LA, you got Be Live, and you got so many strip clubs now that's like babies to that to what we brought in.
Yeah.
So those are like the same, they're using the same format, but now with so many out there, it's not really like a big deal because it's not like fresh or new.
Mm-hmm.
So now the guests can go almost anywhere. They can go, oh, I'm gonna go here. I could go here on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Like ours was just once a week. So it was kind of special. People would wait for it, but now it's not a big deal. So.
Yeah. What do you guys got going on now then? You know, now that you know that's shut down, and then you know COVID and everything. You know, what's kind of been going on? Has there been a much?
Well, they got underground parties going on. Like I haven't been a part of them that much.
Yeah.
Like I do every now and then. I do a mansion party, or I do something out of state in Arizona or Vegas, and but I send my tables. Like people hit me up when they come into town. They be like, "Man, what's going on tonight? I want to get a table." I send tables to certain parties that I know about with promoters that I deal with.
Yeah.
But it's hard for me to do nights on the underground scene because what happens is that when you're a promoter that been working in this field for so long, law enforcement and owners, they follow you too.
Yeah.
So if I post a flyer of a party, it's a high probability and a chance that we won't be doing the party a lot. Like we might get away with it once or twice, but they're probably going to crack it the third or the fourth time because they already know what I do for a living. So the people that are actually winning right now are the individuals that really were underground. They was not no main promoter. They were not branded.
Yeah.
So now they get to throw parties all they want because the law enforcement agencies aren't watching them.
Yep.
So they're eating like, and the parties are actually pretty good. I'm not gonna take anything away from the people that's doing things right now. They're doing some really good parties and they're keeping the vibe going. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens when LA opens back up because we're supposed to be open in June 15th.
Oh, right in the middle of summer then, huh?
So everything is supposed to be fully open 100%. So it's gonna be interesting to see how the pandemic promoters transition into the real Hollywood world and how it contrasts with the promoters that actually really do this for a living.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I mean, do you have any plans for, when June comes then?
Oh yeah, that's what we're working on right now. All of the contracts that we had prior,
yeah,
we're just gonna try to reestablish them. Like we've been in contact with a lot of the club owners. The scary part though is that a lot of clubs shut down during the pandemic.
Yeah, I know.
So there's not a lot of clubs that are open. Luckily, the two clubs that I was working with, they're still good to go.
That's good.
So, but my Friday night club I had there, he sold his club during the pandemic. Well, both my Friday nights. My Friday night that was right before the pandemic, he sold his club right before, and then I went to a new Friday, got a contract with a new Friday. He sold his club during the pandemic. A club called Playhouse, which was a big club, they closed.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of major clubs that closed down. So that's the part I'm gonna have to try to figure out within the next couple of months to see which clubs are actually gonna be still open.
Yeah, because I mean it's gonna be a lot of rebuilding and shit too, a lot of new places popping up and shit. Maybe, once COVID fucking dies down and then people can start partying without feeling, scared and to fucking do, go party and shit. During COVID, did it when everything was open in LA, were you still able to sell all your shit, or was there still a lot of people hesitating?
What, during COVID?
Yeah.
Well, the crazy part, the one thing that this is a saying that's always going to happen. Parties and women are going to always do good no matter a pandemic or not. So the people that like to party are gonna go party. Like when the pandemic first started, when it was really like big and everybody was like so nervous, I did a mansion party in the Hollywood Hills that was packed.
Yeah.
That was
So
packed. And the reason why that started getting messed up because everybody starts, since no clubs would open, everybody start Airbnb in houses and throwing parties. And these parties was packed.
I fucking bet.
And a group, some dudes did a party that was like overly packed, and it got caught on the news, and the news helicopters was flying over and seeing all the people out with no mask and everything on, and they end up like shutting all Hollywood Hills, all mansion parties down. Like if you got caught doing the mansion party, they was fining you. Some people was going to jail. So that went out. So that's when the pandemic was like the worst, when people was actually really dying. So that's why like now people got cabin fevers. Like, so they ready to go out. Like I just did a day party 2 weeks ago and everybody was there like it was no pandemic.
Yeah. So the market's definitely still fucking never left.
Oh yeah. When All-Star Weekend, I worked in I did Atlanta. I worked in Atlanta with some of the promoters out there because we kind of got a team of promoters. Like they got a big group that owns and runs all the clubs in Atlanta. But like BET weekend or Super Bowl weekends and stuff, All-Star weekends, they come here and do events with us too. So we kind of all work with each other. So All-Star weekend, I went out there to work with them and they had a dome. This dome was like a soccer field type thing, this big old thing. It was, man, we did a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm talking about 5,000. If you go on my Instagram page, you can see it. 5,000 plus people.
Jesus.
And no mask.
Damn.
I'm in there spooked. Like I don't go to my table, no nothing. I'm standing in the corner. I book my table. They go sit where they sit. I get the little girls I had, I get them all in, and I'm like near the bar where it's like open space. And I got my mask on. And my partners in them was like, bro, you don't have to wear your mask on. Like, I'm not comfortable yet.
Not ready to fuck with all that shit, yeah.
But they was out there like, man, it ain't no pandemic. They partied and partied, and it's crazy to me because their numbers aren't nothing like California's or LA's numbers. Their numbers are way better than ours.
Yeah,
and
that's weird.
They're 100% open.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's weird because I'm from Nebraska, man. We're fucking all the way open too. Ain't nothing closed at all. Everything's good.
See, so yeah, that's the crazy part. But it was so many people, man. That was a shocking eye opener for me. That was actually nervous. So when I got home, the day I got home, I scheduled a COVID test.
You're ready for that shit.
I went and got my COVID test the next day, and I wasn't even tripping. I was like, man, I know I got COVID, so I'm finna just go quarantine for 14 days in the house, whatever, and
the whole
chill.
Fucking thing, yeah.
And when I got my results back and it said negative, and I was like, that's impossible. So I waited 7 days and went and got it again because I was like, it's impossible, and it was still negative.
That's what I'm saying.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's fucking weird. I really don't know, man. But I actually know people that have the shit. You know, they're fine, whatever. You know, my dad got that shit. He's good. You know, he lost his smell and his taste for like a fucking month, but you know, he's good now. But it's just weird. I don't understand it. I really don't.
Yeah, my mom and her husband, they got it. I ended up flying out to Texas in November. I was there all November taking care of them. They was bad too, but they was in the house. So I nursed them back to health. They had it for a month. I'm talking about like barely could move, couldn't eat. Like it was bad. And they both 100% back to normal, chilling, this and this and that. So
yeah. And
now they got the vaccine, so they happy about it.
You gonna fuck with the vaccine or what?
I'm good. No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
A lot of mixed feelings.
If I do, if I do, it'll be like if I can, because I travel out the country a lot. So
Yeah.
I don't want to have to get it to if I have to go out the country, but I do want to wait like a year or two and see this how it responds to people.
Yeah.
Like my whole thing was that I just wanted like all the elders to really have it. Like my grandma has it, all the older people. So my grandma, my mom, my pops, and my uncles and aunties, all of them have it, but none of like my age range or less younger, we don't have it.
Not
Because
yet.
I feel like I've been around so many people throughout the pandemic. I done probably had it at one time, and it must have not affected me like it affects people.
Yeah.
So even if I do get it, I don't think that I'm gonna get to the point where it's gonna put me in a hospital.
Yeah. I mean,
Because
we're younger too.
Yeah, and I just think it to me it's like impossible that I been doing parties, been doing these mansion parties, been doing the parties in Atlanta, doing the parties in Arizona for over a year, in some places with no mask on or anything, and I didn't get it. Like to me, I think that's impossible.
Yeah, that's what's fucking weird, and I don't know, because I was around people that had it too, and I never had it yet.
Yeah. And then me being around my mom and her husband, like I stayed at a hotel, but I had a full hazmat outfit on, everything, the mask, all that.
CDC.
But, yeah, I was there for a month, and still, and I didn't get it when they had it. So it's like, most likely I didn't probably had it.
Yeah.
I probably had it, but I just didn't have no major symptoms or nothing from it. I could have been asymptomatic, or I probably got some small symptoms and really didn't know, and it went away, and I'm good. So, because all a vaccine is about is like making sure your body knows what it is. So it makes sure they put a small dosage of basically of COVID in you. So when you get around somebody with COVID, if it enters your body can know what that is. Like, oh, it's COVID. So they know it'll know how to fight it.
Oh, okay. So it fights it off then, yeah.
It's like the flu shot. The flu shot is the exact same thing. They give you a small variant of the flu. So if you catch the flu, it'll know, oh, this is the flu. My body will recognize it. COVID was a new virus. So our bodies was never knew nothing about it. So it was foreign.
Oh,
that's why people got really sick. Once your body knows what it is, it can fight it off. That's any common cold, anything.
Yeah. See, I didn't even fucking know that. That's pretty fucking dope that it does do that shit. I see that. Another thing you do, you said you do cannabis broker too. What is that?
So California is a cannabis free state. So we legal here in the cannabis world for what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for?
Recreational, medical,
recreational. Recreational. So we don't need no cards or anything. You can go into the liquor store and just go buy what you want. They have it all set up. So people have licenses, they have distribution centers. So these distribution centers are like wholesalers. So to supply a store, which is a dispensary, they have to buy from somebody else that has a license to put stuff in their store. They can't just go buy off the street or go to the farms a lot of times and get it. They have to go through a distribution chain. So with me, I'm the middleman in between that. So since I work with a distribution center, if I go to a place that's like, oh man, I'm gonna open up a cannabis store, a dispensary, a retail store, or I'm gonna do delivery, I need to get product. So I'll be like, okay, I can get you product, this and this and that. So I kind of set a deal up with them getting product. I get paid a commission for bringing in new clients or whatever, and basically that's it. So that's what I do in a nutshell, without getting into in depth in it, because some of the stuff is still gray area too. That's what I've been doing during the pandemic. So that's actually what been keeping me really alive. And it's been a great business so far, because I didn't know so many people was involved in it. And it's almost the same as promotion, because it's like selling tables. So you sell tables, you get a commission. So if I get a dispensary to back me and they say they want to get 50 units of like some OG or some runts or whatever type of flower they want to get, and they want to get 100 edibles or 1,000 edibles to put in their store, I get paid off of all of the purchases they get.
Oh shit! There you go. That's got to be a good commission.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been really good. It's been really consistent. And the good part about it, because now that basically the whole Western hemisphere is open like that. So you got Washington, Oregon, Nevada, Arizona, and California. So everybody is coming out of all of those. Oh, and Colorado. So everybody's coming here to grab stuff, even to put in stores in those places, because they might have access to cannabis in those cities and states or whatever. Yeah. But California is still going to have the best product. That's just what it is. Like,
that's how it's always been, right?
Yeah. So and you know the crazy part, people be like, you working there and you don't even smoke. I'm like, no, I don't.
How the hell do you manage to do that shit?
Hey, I really don't drink neither, and I do the clubs. Damn, I only drink on my birthday.
Shit, for real? How do you just don't fuck with it? You know more? Or?
No, it's just the fact that, man, it's a business to me, so you can't be drunk and watching the money. Like,
someone's gonna take that shit.
I see a lot of promoters there, like, come and they be working and they be so loaded at the end of the night, chasing this girl, and they'll leave without even getting their payout.
Fuck that.
Now, if I was like scandalous, I'd just be like, hey, you left the club, so your money is gone. You gotta wait. Like, but I'm not like that. We'll still put it to the side. But with me, I like to clock everything. Only time, like, if I'm a drink, I drink on my birthday because I know people coming to celebrate with me. But normally, if I go to somebody else's night and I'm not working, or I go out the country, then I'll drink.
Yeah. Now, when
if I'm at work, nah.
Yeah, because you're working. That's your job. You don't want to get fucked up while you're working.
and I'm proud to say I'm probably one of the only promoters out here still that don't have no DUI. Let me knock on some wood. That
fuck that, man. That's too far, man. I almost got one of them motherfuckers, man, twice.
See.
But it's too risky, man. I'll ride a motherfucking bike or something instead. I ain't driving. I'm fucking getting a DUI, man. That's too much.
That's what scared me, because you got to think, at the club, everybody drinking, everybody doing this, and what you got to do after, you got to leave.
Go and drive.
You got to leave, and the police smart. They not stupid. Yep. All they do is sit next to a club and wait for somebody to make a move and and blurp you.
Yep, that's all they got to do. That's it. Best calling a fucking Uber or some shit, you know.
Yep. Uber was the best thing invented for club people.
Dude, no shit. I mean, for anything, man. I went out to California last October. That's all I used when I was driving there, man. Just, the airplane, everything. It just fucking came in handy.
That should just get expensive, though.
Yeah, it was, man. I had to put it in the budget, for the trip out there.
Okay, yeah, because I was like, it get expensive. When I was in Atlanta, I had to Uber. Man, I was like, it seemed like every trip was $40. I was like, God, man.
Yeah. It's fucking expensive, man. You also said you're a community activist, right?
Yeah.
So what do you do for that? How did you get into that? Or how'd you get into it?
Well, community activism really just came off of like trying to just help people that don't understand the plights that we're in. Like, being a Black male in America is just like a hard situation. Like, and being a minority in America is hard too, but being a Black male in America is even harder, because the way this system is set up, this system designed to always try to keep us at the bottom of the totem pole, and always and designed to like make sure that every other ethnicity is against us. And even though we all grow up together and we live together, we do everything together, the way they try to design it is like separation type thing, always. And I try to like make sure, like, the people in my community, I live in the Crenshaw community, so I'm in the Nipsey Hussle area and all of that. And one thing about the Crenshaw community and the reason why it gets like the love that it gets is like we're probably one of the last Black communities left in Los Angeles.
Damn.
So and this is an area with like homeowners. So the crazy part is that now I don't want to say crazy. The most distinctive part of the Crenshaw community is that you have all three socioeconomic levels there. So you have the lower class, you have the middle class, and you have upper class. So you have people that's living in Section 8. Then you have people that own houses that are from like 300 to 700,000. Then you have $1 million, $2, $3 million homes, all in the same community. We all go to the same high schools, same middle schools, and all that. And that's like abnormal in any situation. Normally, you either have Beverly Hills and you have South Central. You don't have a Beverly Hills and South Central together. So the Crenshaw community is like that because it's not a community of a lot of apartments. A lot of the people are homeowners. So it might be their grandparents or their parents. So you still deal with LA culture. LA culture is a gang culture, and we have gangs here. So when you have gangs here, you have a mentality here that's immature and that take on the stereotypes of what the media puts out there. So they're supposed to be this and they're supposed to do this and they're supposed to do this. So it makes it look like, oh, we just supposed to kill each other. We just supposed to be poor. We just supposed to do this. And it's like, nah, bro, like, you don't have to be like that. Like, I grew up in this. I did the gang banging thing. I did all of this stuff and I still did this. Like, the thing I always try to teach are the people that's under me and try to preach to them is like, just be you. Don't try to be what's on Instagram. Don't try to be somebody else. If you be you and you because I learned that as a young age when my uncles and my dad was like, you stand on your own. Like, if you stand on your own 2 feet, you take what comes with it. If somebody don't like it and they want to fight you or you get jumped over it, at least you're getting jumped on. Oh, at least something's happening to you over something that you believe in. Because it's different when you're doing something somebody else believe in and you get into trouble for it. So like my situation when I said I got into some trouble, I don't have no issues with nobody or nobody have no issues with me because it was a decision I made for me to do, to take a risk, whatever. So when I got caught, I dealt with it. I can accept it. It's different when you have to accept something for somebody else. Like, fool, I'm accepting this and I wasn't even involved. Like, so I always, that's one of the things I try to preach. So when the whole Black Lives Matter movement came on, it kind of propelled what I was already doing in the community to a bigger platform. So when that came on, it was just like, hey, these are the things that I was already discussing and already talking about beforehand. We have to be smarter. We have to be more strategic in how we maneuver in this world. And the more y'all fall into play with what society and what the media is trying to portray, the more we gonna take L's. Like, we gotta do things in the best manner for ourselves and for our communities, because you can't be selfish, because it's a reflection. Everything that I do, everything that you do, everything that the next person does is a reflection of the community, because that's how they're gonna look at us as a whole. So when they see me do anything wrong, they think that, oh, that's what all Black men do anyway. Like, so you have to look at it, and it shouldn't be like that, because every other ethnicity, besides the Latin community and the Black community, kind of get the same portrayals. But every other, they judge that one person. Like, oh, this was what he did. That's it. It don't cover the whole entire race. But with our ethnicity, it covers our whole race for whatever you do wrong. So it's trying to like make sure all of the youngsters that's gang banging, because like I tell them, I don't care that you gang bang. Like, that's gonna happen. you grew up in Los Angeles. This is a gang culture. There's no way that most people are not going to be affiliated or a part of a gang if they grew up in the city. Now, how you utilize gang banging is two different things, because you could be a person out there trying to take people's lives, which is should be a no-no, or you could just be out there like, I'm protecting mine. Long as nobody comes and do nothing to me and do nothing to my people, then I'm good. I'm not gonna do nothing to nobody. Just don't come over here and try to harm me and do whatever this and that, which is what it's supposed to be. Because everybody's supposed to protect theirs. You protect your family, and your family is more than just blood. Sometimes your family can be all the people you grew up with, because that's how a lot of us end up in these gangs, is because if me and you and I, let's say, went to kindergarten, elementary, middle school, and high school together.
Yeah.
And you end up joining a gang, or you end up getting put on the gang, because I'm not gonna say join because we grew up in the same area. So you end up getting put on while I'm at basketball practice or something, right? And I'm like, man, what happened? You're like, man, I got put on, whatever. Like, okay. So
explain
when I go play,
put on to the people so they know what that means.
Okay, put on is if you just get jumped into the gang. So a fight, like they normally will fight you or whatever to get in. Like, so the reason I say put on, like if you get put on and I'm at back, because this is how it's actually like kind of a true story in a way. So how this shit even happened with my situation was that I played sports. So I played baseball, basketball my whole life. All my friends, we all played sports.
Yeah.
Growing up. But when we got to high school, I played at Crenshaw High. Crenshaw High in the 90s was like the best basketball program on the West Coast. Yeah. Like, so at tryouts, you would have like 100 people trying to make this team. Damn. So even though I had friends that played sports, all of us wasn't gonna make the team. Yeah. I ended up making the team. Dang. So the bad part about it is that now that these people that I played sports with all my life, they didn't make the team. Now they have this idle time. Yeah. And this idle time, either they got to transfer and go to another school to play basketball, which they could have, and they could have probably started at any other school. But most people, they have a loyalty or some type of like connection with the Crenshaw, because that's the area we from. So that's the school you want to go to. You don't want to like, oh, I'm just going to go play basketball, so I'm going to go play somewhere else. You want to still stay there. So what happens is now you have idle time. So this group of kids that you all grew up together, let's say it's 6 of you. Out of the 6, I'm at basketball practice every day. Those 5, they, after school, they doing messing with girls, hanging out here, hanging out there, doing stuff. So they probably get into an altercation with somebody. Shit gets taken out of hand. We all move as a unit. So they tell me, oh, we got into it with so-and-so and so-and-so. Nobody gang members at the moment. Okay. So we go over there and be like, hey, what, we got problems, woo-woo. We get into an altercation, we handle it, we all fight like men. We try to squash it and settle it. We squash it, settle it. We go back to basketball practice. They still do their thing. Over time, they develop, the people that they got into a fight with, they develop a relationship too. So now they all develop a relationship. They all hanging out. It only takes one person to be like, oh man, hey, I'm finna get put on. When that one person get put on, you don't have to get put on, but when you go places, people gonna automatically already view you as a member of the gang because that's your homeboy. Yeah, so they say you're affiliated. You're affiliated, but nobody when they're doing gang activity, they not finna say, oh, we're gonna only go after the real one. We're not gonna go after the affiliates. They're gonna go after everybody. That's just what it is. They're not. So what happens is that everybody ends up getting put on without even wanting to, or without actually being put on, right? Yeah, I want to say not wanting to, because it's not a diss one. It's like you already have that in you because it's been groomed in you your whole life. You just never thought that I'm finna just go and this is what I'm finna do. It kind of just happens like organically. Yeah. So now you're all from this neighborhood, but you don't have that mentality. Like, I'm not gonna go and shoot these people over here. I'm not gonna go and do this over there. That's not who I am. That these my homeboys. So if something happened to my homeboys, something happened to their family, then I'm gonna make sure I back them.
Okay. I see
And
what you mean.
that's how this LA culture is. And that's what people don't never understand, is that they think people are just like going like, oh, I'm gonna go get jumped into a gang. Like, no, nobody's doing that. It's when you go do something, if somebody sees you and they know you live in this area, they're not gonna ask you, are you from that area, when they know that who you're affiliated with. So when they know who you're affiliated with, they're gonna just treat you as that person until you say like, bro, I don't bang this and this and that. That's not where I'm from. I don't do none of that. Then they still might still might give you a pass, but now it's gonna make it harder, because when they see you with the people, because they're gonna still see you, and you got to think, these aren't, in your mind, these aren't gang bangers or gang members. These your boys that's from kindergarten. Like, their mother, their fathers, their sisters, their brothers, their aunties, you done slept over their house, everything. So these people you grew up with. So you don't look at them like, oh, this is so-and-so and so-and-so from the hood. No, this is whatever his real name is. This is this and this and that. So you don't see it in that aspect, but it grows. So now you have that clique, and then you have this clique, because everybody has that group of people that grew up together and they end up being in it. And that's how you get these big old gangs, because everybody grows up, they have a clique, that clique gets older. When that clique gets older, the other gang members from other neighborhoods start saying stuff to them and trying to disrespect them and punk them, and you be like, I'm just gonna fight them. And then you fight them, and then you be like, okay, but they not gonna let that go, because you got gun violence come into play. Now you be like, man, I don't have no gun. I'm not trying to be like that. But you don't want to die. You want to protect yourself. And I always tell people, this is why Kendrick Lamar was such a big deal in the music industry, because Kendrick Lamar's music speaks about being an affiliate in Los Angeles, because he's not from any hood, but he has to go through everything a gang member goes through and not being a gang member. So all his music talks about, if his boys go, he got to go ride for them, and he got to go do this. And he's not from a hood, because that's just the dynamics of this city.
It's fucking crazy. No, but you explained it very well. Like, that is the best way I think that, I've ever heard it be explained, dude. I mean, but it's the truth, and it's fucking sad. But I mean, it's good that you're helping.
It's sad, but it's sad on the outside looking in, but it's not, because it's not as bad as most people think. It's still a brotherhood. Like, when I joined my fraternity in college, like, people always say, man, that's just a college game. And it has almost the same elements.
The
fraternities have almost the same elements. The difference is the killing part. Like, they're not finna kill other fraternity people. But the dynamics, the brotherhood, the colors, the symbolism, the hanging out in groups, the meetings and all that are similar. And I think that's nationwide. Like, I think that's a nationwide thing. That's not just an LA thing. People just call things different. We have Crips and Bloods, but people have turfs, people have gangs, people have hoods, people have all whatever they call their dynamic.
I see. But I mean, that's, so that's good that you kind of like, you kind of preach to the, the young cats out there, or how do you do that? Like,
we're not preaching. Like, since I do the clubs and I know they come out, and I grew up here and I still live in the area. Like, they know me from sports. Like, I just be honest with them, like how I'm talking to you. Like, I just like game, because nobody wants to be preached to, first off. Like, once you do that, they're gonna turn a deaf ear to you. They're not gonna listen to anything you say. So nobody wants to be preached to, but you just gotta come at them at the level they're at. Like, I don't never try to, like, my thing, I don't never tell nobody not to be no gang member. I don't never tell nobody not to do whatever they're doing, because you don't know what their upbringing is. You don't know what reason they need to be a part of this group of people, you don't know. You don't know their dynamics. You don't know their upbringing.
Yeah.
So some people don't have brothers. Some people don't have sisters. Some people don't even have moms and dads. These people be in group homes. You don't know what they have. My thing is to make sure that they understand, like, you have opportunity still, bro. You alive, so you have an opportunity to do what you want to do. Don't my always is don't let nobody sway you to do something that they want you to do. That's my thing. I have an issue with what we call out here is crash dummies. Don't be no crash dummy.
Yeah.
So don't allow nobody to tell you to do something that you don't want to do. You make a decision. Now, if you want to be that cold, hard killer and do that, and that's your decision, then it's easier for you to live with that. Okay, you go do that. But don't have nobody going out here telling you to do something that can put you behind bars for the rest of your life. And that's a decision you didn't make on your own.
Yeah.
Because you're going to regret that shit 1,000% when you sitting behind them bars in that cell, and you're going to feel a certain way because you're there because you was listening to somebody else tell you what to do.
Yeah. That's for damn sure.
And that's always my talk. Like I'm never going to tell nobody not to do what they do. I'm just like, hey, be smart about what you do. Make sure you make your own decisions. Make your own decisions in life. Like, and that way you can live with it, because if you decide to do something and you get caught or whatever, you can live with it because you made it.
Yep. You got to stand behind your decisions and shit, face the consequences. Yeah.
And I like, that's why all these people telling, because they not making decisions on their own.
Yeah. That's for damn sure.
So that's why you got all these rats, because nobody's making decisions on their own. Everybody is they're doing something because somebody else told them, and now they got caught. They didn't realize the repercussions of it, and now they want to get out of jail free card.
So, yeah, I know what you mean, man. You see that shit a lot.
What you already know, it's a major rapper out there that put it out on
no,
on
I know what you're talking about. No, I know what you're talking about. You gonna promote him at the club or what?
Hey, I got a story with him too. Hey, the funny part, BT weekend, no, All-Star weekend when it was in LA. He came to my day party.
This is 6ix9ine, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He came to my day party at this club club called Ohm. And he was trying to get in, and I was like, hey, I told my security, I was like, he cannot get in my club. They're gonna beat the dog shit out of him if he comes into this club. Like, because people was looking for him already. So I was like, he cannot come into my club. And I'm being selfish, because I was like, man, I don't want my club to get fucked up. If my club get fucked up, I lose money. So he outside at the rail. I'm gonna try to find a video on it, but he outside at the rail. He like, man, somebody need to get me in this, and then he got his security or whatever. His little people there, the people he rode with when he in LA, and they trying to get him in. And I'm like, we telling like, bro, you're not gonna get in here. So security's talking to. They're like, man, fuck this. I could buy this club. He's doing all the shit he normally do. I'm like, but you're still not getting here. He ended up having to leave. So some of the people that was in the club, they come out. They're like, hey, we heard he was here. And I was like, yeah. They're like, why you didn't let him in? I was like, because, fool, I'm not finna let him. Like, yeah, you need to let him in, because I'm like, nah. I said, well, he just left. If y'all really want him, y'all could go catch him now. Y'all not finna fuck up my money.
Yeah, there you go.
Y'all not finna fuck up my money. So,
God damn. Wasn't what was it, like Slim 400 or some shit was chasing him or something out? Was that when he came to LA like a year ago or some shit? Somewhere.
Yeah, that was right before the pandemic. Right before he went to jail. Was it right before he went to jail the first time?
Yeah, because I remember seeing those videos. I think it's Slim 400 or someone was out there fucking
Slim 400. Yeah. So, but he got a team that he deals with when he's out here. So it's kind of like, people be always talking about, I'm not gonna check in, but everybody's checked in with somebody when they get here. He got some people he rode with out here that's gonna make sure that nothing really can happen to him, because it's a respect that we have amongst each other that we don't want to put them in the harm's way over his shit. So
yeah, that wouldn't be good for business at all.
Cause it's gonna grow when he leaves. It's still gonna be ongoing here. So we have to have like this code of conduct, this
Yeah.
secret code of conduct we kind of have where so we don't cause rifts and beefs
Yeah.
over something that's business
Hmm.
that can go on once that client leaves.
Yeah.
So
Because there's many other clients, right? You
yeah.
know, there's not the only one, you know. There's plenty of big other people that you can fuck with, you know.
Yep.
But yeah, I just had a few more, you know, quick questions. You know, I guess, you know, basically I always ask everybody these ones, you know, the first one is, you know, what motivates you to do what you do every day?
My grind is the lifestyle I want to live. Like I just like to live kind of free. I don't want to be clocked into nobody and tapped into nobody. I want to say I'm lazy, but I'm not. Like, cause I don't wake up till like 11 a.m. every morning,
Yeah.
but I don't go to bed till like 3 or 4. But
Yeah.
my whole time I'm working on my phone, I'm doing stuff. I'm always doing conference calls and all that. But when
Mhm.
it comes to like trying to step out and do things, like I don't like to be on the clock. Like I kind
Yeah.
of like to work on my own time. So I think the motivation is that doing something that allows me to be able to live the lifestyle I want to live, like to drive the car I want to drive, own the house I want to own, and travel when I want to travel, and not like, oh, I need to take 3 days or a week off so I can go here. Like if I
Yeah.
decide I want to go here, I can still do my job, still get things done. And then if I can't do my job, I can still delegate a position to somebody else to handle things while I'm going. And so I think that's my motivation. And also for people to see like there's somebody that came from the same place I came from doing it his way.
Hell yeah.
Like, and I think I always use it. And it's funny that Nipsey would use this same thing, but I always was an inspiration. My thing was always like being inspirational.
Hell yeah.
And he does it too. Nipsey does it too, but inspirational to me was always a thing like you gotta lead by example.
Mhm.
So if people see that you didn't never move out the hood because you got stuff. You don't live in the Hollywood Hills now. You still in the same area. You still going to the same gas stations every day. You still interacting with the people, and they seeing you able to do it. It motivates the younger people to be like, I could still do it too. So that's my one of my inspirations, and that keeps me going with what I do.
I really
So
like those ones. Those are good ones. You mentioned you know, Nipsey. What was your relationship with him? Because you said you grew up in that area too. Did you know him personally like that?
yeah, I knew him personally well. Big U was his manager. That's my uncle.
Oh shit,
So
bro.
yeah.
Damn.
So so he was managing him in his early phase. Now, when Nipsey first came around, I was when I told you I was going through that issue with the law.
Yeah, yeah.
I was going through the issues with the law. So I wasn't around when he first dropped. So I didn't get to know him as when he first came around.
Mhm.
But the crazy part is that his brother Sam
Mhm.
has been I've been knowing him for probably now at almost 20 years.
Shit.
And it's crazy. It's a crazy story because when I was in college, I used to come home and I would stay with my auntie. My auntie had a bootleg man, DVD, CD, mixtape person she'd go to. And he used to work out of the Vaughn's parking lot in Inglewood.
Mhm.
So I had his number. I used to go get our bootleg movies and bootleg DVDs and CDs or whatever artist from this guy.
Yeah.
This guy ended up being Sam,
Oh
which
shit.
is Nipsey's brother. So when my little issue I had was over and resolved, and I came back to LA, I went up to the store, to Nipsey's store, and I'm going to see Nipsey with Big U to meet him to go like try to work on a booking or whatever for the club.
Yeah.
And I see Sam, and I was like, Sam, what you doing here? And he was like, this is my store. And I was like, this is a store? He like, yeah. He like, I thought this was Nipsey's story. He like, yeah, that's my brother. So I'm like, what? This is crazy. So
Holy shit.
that allowed me and Nipsey to get kind of cool because he would go to the clubs and all that sometime,
Yeah.
whatever. And I'd be able, but I was not, he's way younger than me. So
Yeah.
I wasn't around his age group. Like I'm 10 years removed from him. Nipsey's
Oh,
what, 33, I'm
yeah.
43.
Yeah.
So we were a different age range, but his brother I knew, and then I had to be around Nipsey when I like booked him for clubs and made him helped him get into like the Hollywood clubs because they had him kind of banned for a while. And he would come to Secret Sundays and I would see him. He was always real cool, like he's a cool dude all the way around, but I can't say that we were best friends and we hooked up and hung out. Like that's not what we were. We would just we cross each other in passing. We always talk, we chop it up, we kept it pushing. It was just cordial. So
oh yeah, that's pretty cool, man. It's just your small world, basically. Shit. I mean, goddamn, your uncle ended up managing him, and then you're fucking friends with his older brother. Like, what the fuck?
yeah, so his brother, that always is a shocker to me. Like, man, that's a small world because I never even knew that they was even in our area because this was Inglewood, and Inglewood is a whole nother city away.
Yeah, Jesus, man. Well, I guess another one I had was, where would you like to be in 10 years?
10 years, I actually want to be. I have three goals that I'm trying to work on within the next 5 years. So 10 years they should be done. Hopefully, I want to be a strip club owner.
Okay.
In 10 years, I want to have a speakeasy bar.
Oh shit! So a bar too, then.
A bar, and I want to have a boys and girls club in Crenshaw area in 10 years.
Oh shit! There you go, man. Fuck. So you got some goals you working to.
Yeah. So those are my three things that I want to get accomplished within the next 10 years.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely can. I mean, with the grind you doing, man, I know you can fucking do that. That's for damn sure.
I'm trying to step into the owner's box. I'm not trying to be in the promoter's box no more. I want to be
Time to
in
move
the
up.
owner's box.
Yeah. Start making some fucking more money. Shit.
Yeah.
Did you think 10 years ago, like you said, when you started 10, 11 years ago, I mean, did you think it would go this far?
Honestly, I didn't think I would still be promoting. Like, I thought it was just going to be something like, temporary. 10 years went by fast. Like, and I really realized how fast it went by during this pandemic.
Yeah.
Because you have to like pay attention. Like when you're doing clubs, let's say I have 4 nights out the week.
Okay.
Right. On Tuesday, we have our meetings for all my clubs. Every Tuesday, every promoter meets on Tuesdays. So we plan every night on Tuesday. Boom, 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 boom. So when we're planning our nights, we're not planning that week that we're meeting. We're planning the week after.
Oh, okay.
So we're planning the week after. So what happens is that Tuesday you have a meeting. Boom. I have a night on Tuesday night. I have a Thursday night. I have a Friday night, Saturday night. Then you back at a Tuesday meeting. Like the nights go by, the days go by that fast. So you're not even realizing that you just went by a whole week because you're so focused on the next week. And then you're so focused on the next week and the next week. Then you realize, damn, it's New Year's Eve. Damn, it's Grammy weekend. Damn, it's BT weekend. Damn, it's 4th of July. Damn, it's Labor Day.
It just keeps going by quick and quick. Because you're always
New
looking forward.
So you don't realize it. You don't realize it until like, damn, I've been doing this shit for 10 years.
It's just been flying by, huh?
I'm old as shit. You be like, damn, I'm old.
Hey, man, but I think you definitely can do all the shit you're saying, though, man. That's for damn sure, man. You just got to stick to it. But, I'm glad you fucking came on, and you're a really cool guy, man. You said your name is, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it. You said
Marquis Diamond.
Marquis Diamond. My name's Adrian Martinez.
Marquis Diamond.
Marquis. Okay.
My real name is Marquis. My middle name is Diamond. So I was named after my mom's engagement ring. It's a diamond cut. That's a cut of a ring. It's a Marquis Diamond.
Oh shit, that's where you got your name then, huh?
Yep. So,
Hell yeah, that's dope, man. You got anything you want to leave the people with?
hey, y'all, everybody be safe. Hey, the world's about to open back up. Everybody be smart. Wash your hands. Stay clean.
Wash your
and,
hands
and,
in your ass.
and your ass. And one of my main things I want to say is like, everybody love each other. Like, we need to get rid of the hate that people have. I know people say racism and all that. Like, racism is a learned thing. You learn racism. You're not born with it. So the more we study and we get to know people and we get to understand other ethnicities, the better we will be with another culture, ethnicity, another race. So my thing is like, let's try to get rid of this hate and understand that we are one. Because when you leave this country, there's no African London person, there's no African Swiss person, there's no Latin Colombian, or that. It don't work like that. They don't put their countries or their ethnicities in front of their name. They're all one. They're all American. They're all London. They're all from Canada, or they all these different things. We're the only country that likes to separate people. So learn to try to monitor your thoughts, monitor your thinking, so that we can eliminate the hate and the racism that this country tries to push through the media on this in this world. So
Hell yeah. Do you have an app that you want to let people know where to find you and everything too?
Everything with me is Marquis Diamond. Marquis Diamond. That's Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever it is, TikTok, whatever it is all on one moniker. I don't change anything up. So
Okay.
if you want to reach out to me, all my information is on my Instagram page, my contacts, my emails, things of that nature. So,
okay.
And if
Hell
you're in
yeah.
LA when it open, refer people to always be on my guest list, say Marquis Diamond at the door, or reserve their table or book their table through me.
Hell yeah, man. Next time I'm out there in California too, I'm gonna have to fucking hit it up, man. That's for damn sure. I may be going this summer.
You good to go, man. You ain't gotta worry about nothing.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you, again, so much for coming on. We have 24 hours in the day. You spent, an hour and a half with me, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, one of the best hours and a half of today.
Hell yeah, man. Same here. Thanks again, man.
Thank
I
you, bro.
appreciate it. Stay
Have
safe,
a good
man.
one.
Yeah, you
You
too,
be
man.
safe out there in Nebraska, man.
Yeah, I'll try.
All right.
Stay safe, man. We'll see you.
All right, buddy.
Thank you, man.